Hey everybody, welcome to Maze Arcana. Real fast, we just want to quickly address something that plagues a lot of tables. And just because we're a live stream doesn't mean that we're not susceptible to the same core issues that any table has to face. The best way to do this sort of thing is through communication, and that's why we want to communicate with you. I talk a lot about how important Session 0 is, but the fact of the matter is that Session 0 doesn't stop after that night. It continues on, and we have to make sure that we communicate to each other what type of game something's going to be by reinforcing that theme. We need to communicate with each other about what kind of lines need to be drawn, because if they're not drawn, they're not lines. We have to make sure that we are all checking in with each other, taking time before a stream or after a stream to have conversations that we need to make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody's playing the same game. It's my job as the DM to facilitate a safe space and an engaging story. But without communication from everybody, without me inquiring, there's no way that a DM can do that, because a safe space for somebody is boring to somebody else and vice versa. So when you are setting down with your own tables to make sure that your Session 0 runs smoothly, really reinforce the type of game you're playing, especially if it's something like Curse of Strahd or Tomb of Annihilation or anything Lovecraftian. These are all very important elements that you really need to address with your group. And just because you do it once doesn't mean your job is done. DMs, you have a responsibility to more than one person that's there. But likewise, everybody else that's there should have a responsibility to you. And they can't know that unless you communicate it. So things that you can do in the middle of a game, a session, a stream, anything like that, when a boundary that gets crossed, whether somebody knows they're crossing it or not, the thing that you can do is ask for a recess, pause. You can write them a note, slide it over. You can even create a system together. Maybe that's even a best idea, so that everybody gets to have a say in how we're communicating with each other. There's a very simple way of just having cards on the table and pushing a card forward when you're starting to get pushed towards that thing. Other than that, we have no real way of reading each other's minds, no matter how much we love being mind flayers or illithids or whatever else the DM can think up to play. We can only do what helps each other at the table, because the table is your family. You're choosing to spend at least one night, with those people. And for a long campaign, you're looking at spending a long, long time with that family. So do each other a favor. Take care of each other, protect each other. It's the same thing that you should do on the playground, And that's the only thing that we can do as a community. So I hope you enjoy Fury's Reach, the entire thing, and the stories that are involved in it. And if you don't, just, let us know. Let everybody else know. Because that's the only way that your DM or your players are going to know what the hell is going on. We got to do that for each other. All right, let's roll that intro.
Oh, is that why that works? That's why that works.
Oh.
Look at that.
I wanted to be like an ice bucket.
Let me just stick my hand in there.
I wanted to be like an ice bucket challenge. Like I have to do it. Now Ivan has to do it. And we all have to, and we just donate to Extra Life for
I was
it
gonna
because
say,
that's
is
getting
this
this
for,
thing.
is
I was
this
gonna
for
say,
something?
Charity,
I think your face is too little.
Dodge your
That's
face.
even better. Go There you go. Perfect. I wonder if they put the effort into making it like the same size of everybody's like open mouth as best you can, like unless
I think
you're
it
5.
fits just really well on 8.5 by 11.
Oh God, maybe
That
that's
also,
right.
Many layers to that.
If you haven't picked up your Tomb of Annihilation yet, definitely do that.
Seen it yet.
We have some really awesome stuff. Oh, you'll love these. Like Die. Tomb of Annihilation, Die.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Actually, they're gray.
Yeah, I mean, they are really nice.
They're like matte. Most of them just
Whoa.
make shiny, but this is like the
Nice.
first matte dice.
Are you
that
rolling
I've
better
seen.
with those? 'Cause-
Cold.
I'm keeping my tabletop dice today. Yes,
Cool,
it
all
right.
looks like shit,
All right.
but I'm keeping
I think
it.
you just enjoy that aspect of it. I feel like you're a glutton for punishment.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just really attached to my little meeple on Route 20. And
You
that's
just
all.
believe in them so strongly. You just know that one day,
He loves it. He loves
Hopefully
it.
One
this,
day it's all
hopefully
gonna
this
work out.
day.
He acts like
they
he's
will
like,
work
oh,
out
I
for you.
rolled a 1.
Oh.
Oh, but inside he's like,
I love my dice. I should tell you now, Phoenix has learned how to say meeple,
Oh.
except it sounds like meat dice.
Oh.
So he pulled King Domino out the other day. He's like, meat dice, meat dice, meat dice.
You're like, yep.
Yeah.
That's what that is. You got it.
Yep. Oh man, this is cool.
It's a really nice book. And we have a lot of announcements to do, but we're going to save those for the break. So welcome once again to Stream of Annihilation and to Maze Arcana's Fury's Reach. Me and my friends about to sit down and play some D&D.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good time. For some reason, my Sirenscape thing is acting up. So unless I get that fixed during a break, you guys are going to hear a lot of the same music over and over again.
Okay.
Because they have a free version, but it's
What
not
an
as
intense
extensive as the
battle we're
library.
in right now.
This
Yeah.
is the most intense it might get all night.
Well,
Yeah.
it's going to put a new spin on everything.
A very, very sleepy spin.
very sleepy.
Sleepy.
I need you to survive.
But I'm so tired.
All right, so where we left off was with you guys hopping on a raft, being separated from Jakeen, who, in the throes of exhaustion, was greeted by Merkul, who your group specifically had a hand in putting to rest his
Got it.
it was so bad.
other last kind of avatar, if you will, like his last guardian on Earth or what have you. And his entire purpose was to find a way to stop the death curse, because he needs those souls to keep pumping into him, and something is stopping them from reaching him.
Now
So
that source of power is sharded or delineated. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what the hell is going on with this.
Whoa, you
Yeah.
looked at me
So-
so intensely.
So we'll get to that, but the last thing that that they saw was Jakeen rushing out, trying to draw the attention of a large undead Tyrannosaurus, and
Vomits up zombies.
who's vomiting in zominums,
Terrifying.
Yeah, not into
Terrifying.
that.
as well as calling it into the woods after her. Merkul came to her, and then and then the last thing that we saw her do was basically drop that T-Rex and make her way, start to head north in the direction.
But by that time, we were like
You
way
did not
downstream,
see
right?
any of that.
We're so downstream
Yeah.
at this point. So
And I am grabbing your little minis for the thing. So we will pick
It
up
was our raft.
with you all on this tiny ass raft,
It is
the
ornate,
mud,
though.
and the mud is our water,
basically.
guys. We don't have a good.
We
history.
found that earlier, and we were like, what is this? It's a raft. Now we know.
we don't have a great history with rafts.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but we did pretty okay. No one died. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll let this play out how.
Okay.
Should I be nervous?
We weren't
Maybe.
there. I'm just trying to warn you. Anyway, there we go.
There's a lot of stuff from y'all's past that's coming. Getting involved in.
I'm not
My
there. I
life.
don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'm not on the raft, so.
Yeah, two-headed gator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw.
Which had nothing to do with rafting, by the way. That was just something in the water.
It was there. It happened to be
Do
there.
we have a push
But
stick?
our raft was stuck.
I thought we had a push stick, right?
Yeah,
No?
it
There
wasn't
was
stuck.
there was
It
one
Someone
on
was-
the.
and I was in the front watching
Yeah,
for
because we
stuff.
pushed off. So.
Right? Is
Okay.
that how it went down
Sure.
at the end? Okay.
And who's got the
Reed.
shard slash
have-
pulse?
I do.
You have
Okay.
pulse.
So as you guys head on your way down the river, you see kind of a myriad of different plant life open up. This is a completely different river than you had been on before, and it actually becomes somewhat of a fjord, where the sides start to rise up, and then you guys move through a gorge, a canyon, with flowing water, and you're kind of pushing your way along and avoiding things. It's very slow going. As you make your way out of the fjord, you come down to, you see it start to open up again, and it's been almost like a day worth of movement before you see the river up ahead of you start to fork in a greater way than most of the littler tributaries or offshoots.
Are they both going downstream?
There, you can't really tell from here.
Oh wait, physics. Sorry. It, of course, it'd be going
Yeah.
downstream.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Both of them,
feeding
yeah.
into the river.
No, that doesn't make sense. I don't.
Sorry.
I'm just.
Ignore me.
Let him set the tail.
You see the fork coming up, and both sides look relatively flush.
Do we have anybody in our group that can tell which ways?
Right, like by looking at the, because I've looked at the map, like would I know which way we should probably go?
You know you're going north.
Okay. Which direction is more north?
They both seem to be one northeast, the other northwest.
Okay.
Then we would want to go.
It's been a day at least. I mean, what if we stop by the bank and at this point, if we go left or right and we lose Jaqueen, then there's no chance she'll be able to catch up with us. Maybe we should pull over and just wait for a while, see if she finds us.
Look back. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we could stop. Kind of get our bearings, figure out where we are, look at the map a bit
Okay,
more.
yeah. I want
Okay.
to see the map, Johan.
Okay.
Wheeler.
Open this satchel,
Cool.
and then lay out and grab the map.
We're pulling
and,
off to the side, though.
Yeah, we push off to, let's call it, the left-hand side of the bank.
You're to the left side?
Yeah, so right before we have to cross the major intersection, we'll just kind of like push off for a moment. How are we doing on our food and water situation? Maybe we can take this time.
How do you, what do you recall having?
I recall having next to nothing,
Yeah, it was.
considering we crossed the desert waste.
No, we got
with
some
almost-
rations from that
We had-
place.
Oh wait, we got fully stocked at the
yeah,
house.
we pretty much
Yeah.
got stocked up.
Never
at that
We had a
mind.
place.
bunch of
Yeah.
rations and stuff. And
Got
we
it.
had
We're
full water.
okay if it's only been not that much time.
And when
that's
the
A day.
barf water happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Barf
Yeah.
water.
So we have non-barf water
Bless her.
and we have rations, so we're okay on food. So I'm just gonna pick it out, and I'm gonna, if you don't mind, Rudy, I would love to do a navigation check just to see if I can determine where we are on the map per the river cross line.
You may give
Awesome.
me a survival check.
Also, can I do that too? Because
Are you better than me? Are you?
Well,
You guys
I know
are
a
off
lot about
walking around
maps
in the-
and stuff.
Well, if you guys are going to resolve the, oh no, you should do this instead, do it in character, right? But
Well,
you can both try and get your bearings.
I've got the map. Do you? Is there? Unless, Lepan, have you been in this part of the jungle before?
no, John, but I know how the maps work, and I know the chart and the things. I've seen the map. You don't really even need to show me the map. I'm pretty
Well-
sure I would
What
know
that's
where
like.
we're going. we stopped for just for Chew.
We stop. Yes, because that's why I'm saying I'm stopping because I just want to look at the map real quick. Because if there's any
So maybe
chance,
show me the map, John.
fine, I'll roll it and hand it to you. You make the survival check.
You make the survival
Sassy
check,
frog.
frog.
I say in character.
This native frog that came from Children.
Survival check. What do you mean?
Fine, Lepad is here. Let me just see if I can. You know what? I'll climb the tree and see if I can spot where Jakeem is.
John, okay, waste your time with the climbing of the tree, but I'll look at the map. So you do what you want to do.
I will go do Grung
Okay.
things, and you
Thank
go
you,
do
John.
Johan things. Then. All right, I'm climbing, and
I guess you're making an
Yeah,
athletics check.
am I?
Whoa,
Am
wait,
I?
what?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, unless you
Rudy,
would like
what's
me
going
not
on
to.
right
I
now?
just don't know where you're going, but that's fine.
I was going to look at the map and
the
see what's
closest
going on.
tree.
Yeah. And seeing if I can spot anywhere where Jakeem might be right now. Yeah, or even there. That's up on that mesa. It's an easy climb.
I love how much faith you have in the fact that I might still be alive, you
I
guys.
have to. I have to.
So
Loves
I'm
you.
doing a
I
survival.
have to have hope.
You want a survival check?
I do.
Oh. So that's a 27.
All right.
Ooh.
So you read this, you take the map out, unfurl it, you kind of like look around a little bit, and you go, "This way, Jahan." And he's up and like trying to climb through this tree, so they're like hitting him in the face as he's getting up a little ways, and he kind of works through. He's like, "What?" And he makes you like you don't know where it's coming from. Like it even like bounds off of some of the other rocks and formations around the area, but eventually you see him poke his head up out of this like,
Ferns.
big heavy fern, and he's like finally gets him. He's like, "What'd you say?" And then you like turn around and you're like, "Oh, thanks to Johan, you got the good." And you start to like look around again, and you're like, "Okay, this way." You find the right way again to which one looks like it's going to be pointing the most north.
Which is which one?
Well, again, one's northeast, the other one's northwest, and little the tributaries and deltas aren't necessarily marked on a map. So you're doing a pretty good job of knowing which way is north. But the river's not really marked like
So it
that.
doesn't really give me any which one to take.
I will let you, if you can think of another thing that might use survival that you would do in this case, besides look at.
Which one's
Well, I have an
less
excellent
dangerous
memory
to go
for
down
maps
the
and
path?
geography.
That'll do you a lot of good when you're looking at this map when you're not looking at this map. But what other kind of things might you have at your disposal?
Perception, nature.
No, not skills.
Okay, not
Survival's what you did. You got a great
Gotcha.
roll on that,
Okay.
so I'm going to let you keep that.
All right.
If you can give me one other thing that you, as Lepad, might do to try and survive this situation.
Okay.
What
how about
elements
looking
or
around
things?
for the grung little trails?
Oh, okay.
Because that would help me place everything.
It would, and I will even say that that is a form of survival.
Hell yeah. Because Grung wouldn't go places that they'd get eaten.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
they do live in Schuld.
yeah.
So you start to like kind of look around a little bit, and you notice that probably directly west, very high up in the trees. In fact, higher than a T-Rex or maybe even a Brontosaurus would be able to easily navigate. Right. So it's not too high for the Brontosaurus, but it's too thick in that space.
Okay.
Do you want to walk behind?
Lepad.
Oh, yeah.
Lepad. Didn't
Yes, Johan, I'm proud of you that you got up into the trees. That's really cool, Johan. But I know where we should go.
didn't you say there was a Grung city nearby that was downstream as well too?
Did I say that?
Never mind.
I don't think I said that, Johan. But that's cool. You're in the tree. Look at
Okay.
you. You're like a grung. Yeah, good for Chu.
I'll climb
Maybe
back down.
Chu should come back down now.
I'll climb back down.
Okay, so you kind of like just getting slapped with bushes in the face as you walk your way
yes,
down.
yes. Scratch, scratch, scratch.
Yeah, as you make your way back to the thing, he points out where one of the little grung kind of, I guess it's not a habitat, but like a safe house up in the tree line is, and he's like, he knows that they can be off by a couple of degrees or something like that, but generally they follow a straight, some sort of straight line back towards one of the either settlements or grung crossroads. So they've actually worked out a pretty decent grid system. Whether that is a diagonal grid system or not, I guess if it's a grid, it's also diagonal.
Sure.
Yeah, but he is not 100% sure on how far it is to the next one. But using this, knowing which way is north, he has a pretty good idea of being able to.
So which way?
Right.
figure
Yeah.
out.
Which
Left
way
or
does
right?
that point me to? Left or right?
What you also do is you take a little dip in each side of the fork, and you realize which one has a stronger current to it.
Oh, see.
Even
Okay.
though it is a barely discernible difference, because you are so used to the water, you you take a moment and realize that the left side is the side that's going to keep you from being eaten in some sort of delta or tributary.
Okay. The Chohan, the tree climbing was good. I'm proud of you, but we should take the left side.
Well, I can't see Jakin anywhere, so
Should we wait for that one, or
I'm not too sure.
how far have we moved from that one?
A day at least. We've been going down the river. I don't know. The pulse. I'm worried that whoever has the other shards of this pulse are already ahead of us, and unless we find them and find some way to make sure that they don't do anything with it, I feel like we haven't caught up with them yet. Maybe this is a good
As
time.
much as we all like that one, maybe I think that this is the right way to go. You answered the own question.
Well, real quick, just Reef, what do you want to do with that?
With the shard?
Yes.
I mean, you wanted to destroy it. I don't care as long as bad stuff isn't happening with it. I don't know.
Fine, then let's get it to the port, and let's get it out, and I'll dump it as far in the ocean on the way back to the Sword Coast as I possibly can.
I like the way you think.
All right.
Although, I do have to say, just from thinking back on the sort of adventures we've had in the past, tossing stuff in rivers doesn't always mean that people won't find them.
I have an idea.
So,
That's right.
There's the ocean tooth that guards the cholt. Why don't you put it in the ocean tooth mouth?
What is the ocean
want-
tooth?
That's
wanna-
that's the big thing in the
You want us
ocean.
to feed it to something?
Well, no one will get it from
you
the
want
big
to you want
thing.
me to put the thing that sucks magical energy into a giant magical creature?
Is it magical? It's just in the ocean.
Let's get on the raft.
Let's talk about this some
Yeah,
more.
that's fine.
Okay.
We'll get back on the
It's
raft
just an idea. Okay.
and then head down to
Then
the
we will
left. And
go
I will
to
think
the
of some
thing.
option that doesn't involve putting a energy magic sucking item into something that has a lot of magic inside of it.
It's
So
only a piece.
I don't know.
We do need to find the other bits, though.
you
At
talking
least know
about
what
the
happened to
turtle
them.
Yeah, just checking. Just checking.
Okay. That's definitely magical.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I was clear on that.
We're gonna get back on the raft and we'll head towards the left fork.
Okay. Jakin, would you please make me a survival? So you basically continue down this path. You almost have like this, it's not like you don't have like an infrared vision, but you definitely now can see in the dark. So you traveled through the night, just walking straight,
Just
just
like not
straight
easy.
on north, huh?
Do I just not need sleep anymore?
It's almost as if you feel just rejuvenated on like a level of blessing that probably won't last forever, but for the moment you've got this swell of energy. Plus, you probably have a little bit of an inkling that these idiots need you.
They're not idiots at all.
No, we're idiots.
No.
we're
I
on the
mean, if
raft,
you guys
I'm
are
like,
idiots, then we're all
That's
idiots
subjective.
together.
That's subjective.
Pretty sure everybody at the table falls in that category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, well, they're idiots. I'm
Idiots
also an
galore.
idiot with them.
I've definitely stayed alive by accident.
Yeah.
The more that
I
I get
think
to
we
know
all
this
have.
character.
You weren't here for the first or second episode where he jumped on a T-Rex and
No,
like
yeah,
was
no, I
such a
told you
silly-
that.
me
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
she knows.
I,
Yeah, no, we're all idiots in some capacity.
I insulted a brontosaurus and it knocked me.
For no reason. For no reason. It almost
Let's-
killed him.
Let's just all. Let's
It was
just all
a
say.
character. There was a character choice.
There was a
there.
character choice. I was very
That
mad
I
at that
approve of.
brontosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
so
fully
proud
approved.
of all of us.
Yeah.
I also
Anyway.
would have let it kill you, but I fully approved.
Yes.
We also watched a poor Anyways, never mind. Let's not get into that.
poor
That's
snake.
I know.
That poor snake we murdered.
Right, everything.
It's to be fair, it's evil, but yes.
But yeah, okay.
So you all, so you guys, continue, and you start to realize that the day, like it's basically taking you a day or so to go about 10 miles, and it's quite a ways still for you to make your way up the coast. You know, because you have the map, that based on where you were, where the wasteland was, and the first river that you came through off that lake, that there's basically you're headed up towards what is marked as Kitcher's Inlet, which is still quite a ways away from the...
We have a long way to go.
Yes. And usually, like the fastest way for you to go would be straight through the center of the inside of Cholt, through the jungles. And it would also take you right through some of the most dangerous areas. You could stay along the river and maybe be a little bit safer. But it would definitely continue eventually to take you further away from Port Nainzar.
So, it looks like I'm sitting there tracing the map with my glasses down on the bottom of the nose, just going into it. Well, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. We can either go through what looks like a whole bunch of Cholt, or we can go around and try to take a little more time, but potentially lose any lead that we may have gained on these savages.
I think we need
How
to
hard
go
is the hard
as
route?
straightforward as possible.
Why don't you give me another survival check? Sure. You could actually, I'll take history or survival, whichever you prefer.
Cholt, survival.
I'm gonna go with survival.
Okay.
Considering it's a +9 for me. Ooh, I'm glad that I did. Well, it's okay, 12.
Okay. You aren't exactly sure of where the more undead regions start, but you do know that this river is basically the farthest east that the entire undead area would go to. So you could maybe effectively lead them through the area in the right direction, but you're not exactly sure that you could lead them through the safest portion of the most unsafe portion of Cholt.
Okay. We could go for the most direct route. Might not be the most safest of the route.
What if we followed the water a little bit further and then hopped off? Because we can stop whenever we want, right?
We make so much more
So
time
what
though on a
what is
raft.
the most important? Should we do the safest or should we do the fastest to get up with the people in the Cholt?
I don't even know where these people are at this point. I mean, as far as I know, we may not even have the shard of the pulse anymore. We may have the actual full pulse that's just been completely drained of all of its energy. And it may just only be this big anymore.
Right.
That's true. I don't know.
Part
In
of
which
me,
case, people are chasing us for it right now.
exactly. That part of me feels like that may just making as much time as we can to get to the port is the most vital at this stage.
But if we keep following this water, we're not getting closer to the port. We're gonna start veering away from the port.
Oh,
You have to do the long about. Do you want to
So,
do the direct or do you want to do
do
the
we
long
just
about?
go
The
for
direct
it?
is unsafe.
Or do we follow the water a little ways and then hop off and try to just guesstimate when we're a bit safer?
you're the seasoned adventurer, sis. I will gladly default to your experience. As long as it doesn't kill us.
Oh, then don't listen to me.
Okay. Maybe I am the best decision making right now. Well, then let's just go around the safe way. I don't.
Do you want to
feel
go
like-
the safe
I
way?
don't really feel like dying today.
You heard the man. We'll
Are we
keep
going
on-
to
we'll
do
stay
the
on
safe
raft,
way?
Okay?
Right, stay on the raft.
Okay,
At
we'll
least
stay on the raft.
I know that
You
we're
sure?
moving. when we're
Everyone
on
in
the raft.
agreement? Because I think we should do the direct way. But
Is-
You think the direct way is
that's what I think. But everyone.
Yeah, but
Dice
you live
fight,
here.
dice fight, dice fight.
You live here. Your definition of danger is very different. All
I've
right.
kept you alive, Johan Wielder.
That's true. Okay.
a few hours later, Jakeen comes up to a fork in the river. She can see that it definitely doesn't take any type of roll to see that there was a raft pulled up here. And that there have definitely been a myriad of different sized boot prints, thankfully now. And that there are... and that there seem to be some webbed, grungish feet as well. And you can see the raft be pushed back into the river. But I'll need another survival check to see which way they went.
Okay. 11.
Okay. So you take about 10 minutes. You really kind of look back and forth. You even follow the tracks up into here. And judging by the boot size, you know exactly.
It's like I'm like painting the picture. I know exactly.
This tree.
All the branches are broken.
And even with the
All the
pacing,
branches are broken, yeah.
all the branches are broken. You find a little curly piece of red hair in one of the things.
Of course. I'm the worst.
I'll take the little curl and like put it in my pocket.
So you
Can we get weird, guys?
you take and you tuck that back into like a little satchel that you have strung somewhere.
Right.
And then you follow each one of the other paths. You see that the one with the smallest boot prints usually are actually just came back to the raft and kind of sat down and waited for somebody else to figure it out. And then you see the webbed feet sort of like pace in different ways back and forth. And you can see like it padded up a little bit towards that tree and just wobbled in front of the tree for a little bit. You could imagine that maybe he was yelling to the climber for a little bit before returning to the raft as a group.
I feel like what is it, like a CSI person or whatever? Like I feel like that's totally what I've like come. I'm like deconstructing the scene.
You just watched
and
the whole
then
scene.
the
You
grunt
may
came
as,
over
Like
here and had a
BBC
conversation
Sherlock.
with
There's just like
you may as well
Yeah.
have been there at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the one thing that escapes you is
Which
which
way
way
they
they went. And your path, you actually do surmise that going left would probably be would probably be the most direct route up.
Right.
And that going to the right would lead you to a delta or a tributary. However, your judgment and assessment of your companion's ability to get themselves in or out of trouble probably makes your mind up to go down the other way. Because at least you know that's going to stop at some point.
Right.
And if they are there, they will indeed need you.
Yeah. Okay. I will go the way I think they've gone.
So you start going, and you do see signs of explorers or an adventurer things that have been lost off to the side. There's a random backpack that's missing, like that seems to have been torn apart by a giant crocodile. Different things along the way. But you head more to the northeast side of the river.
So am I going towards that Kitcher's Inlet? That's the
So
path I
there's
took?
in Cholt, all of these larger rivers have little offshoots into tributaries.
Oh, I
That's
see.
like the
okay,
Amazon
yeah.
basin,
So
basically.
So they might be even kind of like going parallel to each other, but one's going this. I gotcha.
Yeah, it just kind of snakes all over the place, and
Those Cholts!
our awesome Psycho Crafts and Ice Fang Arts groups, they made us a lot of this stuff,
They're so
but they
awesome.
didn't have time to make me a river the size that I wanted.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Still beautiful.
yes.
What's
They're
up?
amazing.
What's up, guys? Get on it.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
they
They
made
made
us
us
this
they made us a
garbage.
freaking
Don't listen to
castle.
Chohan Wheeler.
Yeah,
It's
where's
amazing.
the river, huh? Anyway.
So, as you guys, you three continue to float down, the river's really lazy. You guys end up taking, time to kind of stick your way along. And as night falls, what do you want to do?
Camp.
You guys camp off to the side?
Sure.
All right. Who wants
Well,
to?
can I look for the safest side? Because I've pretty arboreal
Give me a
perception
perception
or
check.
alertness. Okay.
I make the fire since I feel like I've been making most of the fires and during this whole thing. Make the fire a little bigger, a little brighter, and a lot hotter than we usually make it.
Okay.
I had an 11.
11. You were pretty damn sure you're on the safest side as you could possibly be in Chult.
Okay.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Well, since they both decided to do something, I'm going to let you.
I'll keep watch.
Well, I assume
do
you're.
something else.
I assume you're all going to take watch at some point.
Okay.
However, I'm going to let you roll me percentile to see if a much larger fire does indeed attract attention.
Great. 47.
All right. That's for me to know. Would you like to use my tiny dice, or would you like to use the?
Those.
Okay. I'm going to keep the metal D8s though, because
Okay,
those were a
fair
gift
enough.
from Kyle.
Yeah, those look pretty great. Oh, they are, Matt. That's fun.
Yeah,
It's,
cool.
it's insane when you look at things and you
Yeah, it's
know
like,
these
oh,
terms like
yeah, that's
matte
weird.
versus gloss. And
Yeah, because that's probably the first matte dice I've ever seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Exactly.
matte ones
Oh,
either.
Wow.
that's cool.
I wonder
Maybe-
if it,
maybe-
the matte stays where it starts to wear if you go, like, let your hand oils
I
on.
don't know.
You're just gonna pop
All
them all
I do
out.
know is I want to
Yeah.
make matte dice now.
Black matte dice would be sweet.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Black
You can
matte.
call 'em black
yeah,
matte
black,
dice.
black matte dice. That's sweet.
Black magic. That's the joke.
What are we doing right now?
I don't know what's going on
I
with
don't
her
know.
right now.
I thought you were gonna roll
Rolling
something.
percent
No?
now, right?
I did.
She already
I
did. Yeah, she used the
47.
other ones. I
So,
just gave her this
You
other
just
one.
gave her the thing. Okay.
He just felt sorry for me on the finale, still having no dice.
You could
I'm a
also
goblin.
use my big metal ones if you would prefer.
No, I love
Wait,
these.
wait,
They're
I think
I thought.
Okay.
mine
I do
was
have the
doing some
gunmetal
good.
and green ones if you want.
You know,
Okay.
that's fine.
So you guys go ahead and set yourself up. You rolled me a 47.
Cool.
I have a gift for you.
Oh,
Whoa!
oh, thank you.
Black matte dice.
Oh,
Brand new.
they match your hair.
And the purpose.
Nice.
I have so many dice now.
Now you have so many.
Thank you.
Jakeen, you continue along the side of the river, moving along the delta. Night falls, yet you still don't feel exhausted, which is wonderful considering what led here. And may I have another survival check?
Sure.
Come on. Maybe. I don't know.
20.
That's a good sign.
No, I'm sorry. 18.
Yeah.
I confuse my survival with something else.
So you, we all confuse our own survival with something else sometimes. So you make your way up to a certain point, and you kind of start to see it threading out a little bit more. There are a couple of other little tributaries, but they look like they're thinning. And you're like, okay, I probably don't need to walk the last couple miles of
This
that.
is a dead end.
Yeah. You turn completely north, and you notice, because of your familiarity with Chult, you notice that the other side of the river there seems to have some sort of plant that the locals absolutely avoid unless they're trying to harvest it for something. At first, it basically is indistinguishable for the most part, and many adventurers fall prey to them because they look like just anything else. However, your time in Chult has given you enough experiences out in the jungle to recognize one by the yellow tongues inside it. So instead of crossing the river right there, you go back a little ways. The next thing you see is a kind of a large field of what kind of appears to be very large, tall pitcher plants. There are some yellow leaves. There are green ones, or there's yellow ones, there's white ones, and there's red ones. I think yellow, orange, and red. And the field just looks pretty beautiful, almost mesmerizing in a sense. However, as you were walking by, luck kind of shows you another little creature that wanders in there, and the yellow one seems to expel some sort of sticky fluid at it. These things you would not have seen with a 15. But with an 18, you make your way back to the center. Night falls, you continue, and you do sort of see what looks like a few miles away some flashy lights.
Well, you know, a I love a good flashy light, so I'm gonna just start making my way towards it.
All the lights.
Who's gonna resist that? Like,
Who can resist the
yeah.
light? Moth of the flame.
Right.
So morning comes. You all make your way along the interior or staying on the raft?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
What would you like to do? What will make you feel most comfy with this journey?
What would be comfy is having Jakeen back, but
I agree.
in lieu of that, I wish we had our rangers, not just Jakeen, but she's like, no offense, Lapad, she kind of has the most experience in this jungle.
I'm offended. So, just so you know, John.
Your
just
story
put that
in
out
my
there.
book is getting more and more interesting.
Well, I hope that's what makes a good story.
True.
Without a little bit of danger.
No, I feel compelled to do something reckless and dumb. I don't know if it's just all the time with you, but
Me?
well, you recently.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a compliment. I'm just excited to see what counts as reckless for you. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Not going the easy
you
way,
already,
I
You already
guess.
picked the easy way, so.
Not going the direct way. I guess I mean, at this point, we don't have to keep going on the raft. We can cut straight through into Port Naranzaru.
If you were to take the time to kind of glance about, like as the sun's coming up from the east, you do see that ahead of you looks like another fjord. And you're going to have to, if you commit to this, you will have to commit to it for a while, as you cannot see the end of it, but you do see a long bridge with part of it missing.
I'm not feeling terribly comfortable about doing the fjord.
And that bridge is above you, I hope.
And I'm also not terribly comfortable about having something jump on us from that broken bridge all the way down there. So why don't we just go through the damn forest?
Yes! Let's go through the damn forest.
Okay,
Let's do it.
John, we'll go for the damn forest.
We'll go through the damn forest.
We're gonna go through the dang old forest. Yeah.
Okay.
Jungle.
It's the same. Rainforest is still a jungle, yes?
Yes.
So, you guys pack up your camp. You're a little disappointed that even though you stoked these fires most of the night,
I was really hoping that I was going to wake up with Jakeen coming to camp, so yes. But
Didn't-
I don't do myself any favors. Normally I would clean up or scatter the ashes, but I just leave it there.
do either of you scatter the ashes?
Yeah, I will.
What? No.
What?
Leave it. Just in case. Just in case.
I think he wants that one to see the thing, but
No, I
you
get
know,
it. I'm just saying, other people could also
yeah,
find
well,
it.
Well,
This one wants the
We are
dad one
trying
to
to
see the
evade
thing,
people.
so
we're trying
just
to
saying.
evade people,
Okay,
but
man.
anyway, just don't touch it.
Okay.
Okay, John Wheeler, write a book about
Don't
it.
look at me like that. Stop smiling.
Sorry, you're just so assertive lately. It's
Nick.
really fun.
Oh,
Don't get used to it.
I don't know if anybody else caught that the grung goes, okay, Johan, write a book about it.
That was a good one. That was good.
'Cause, well, he kept it under
Slip.
the radar, but I
I
couldn't let that
will.
fly.
Thank you.
These mics are good. I think everyone heard that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
So
All right.
We're gonna cut through. Yes.
So you guys start to cut through the center of the jungle. It's been roughly 2 or 3 days since you had
Wow, okay.
had started up the river,
Oh, okay.
and cutting in.
Oh,
Who wants to give me survival checks for
Me.
making sure? Okay, go for it. Who's in the front? You?
yeah, I think I'm always in the front, I think.
Sure.
Unless you got a better survival check
I
than I
do
do.
not.
I got +9, so.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, well, I'm not rolling that great.
Who's in the middle?
Well,
Me.
11.
What's left?
Put the squishy one in the back.
Yeah. Always looking behind my shoulders.
You got 11?
Yeah.
Okay. You seem to have the right direction in mind, but you also seem to be rather oblivious to anything else that's going on.
Okay, fair enough. That wasn't a 2. That wasn't, whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. On a scale of 1 to 20, you think that 11 is amazing?
No, I don't at all.
Good,
No, I'm
okay.
saying I whatever.
saying that your 2 was
I'm
an
saying I rolled a
11,
2,
and
but I
that's
have a
super
plus
fun.
9 to survival. So.
Oh,
It's always
okay. I thought you were
really
saying, well, it
nice.
wasn't a 2.
No. I'm saying it was a 2, and I have a plus 9 to survival.
And
So
that's
then
cool.
now we're all clear.
We're surviving the dice roll.
Yes. Yes. Continue.
So you make your way towards that light, continuing towards that light. The sun starts to come up. The light is gone, but you see what looks to be someone at the fire, tending to it, and they appear to be kind of have this greenish yellow sort of fleshy skin. They're sitting, so they don't seem like you can't really discern the height. But you do see that there is a spear, Yaquala, nearby, and from where you are, it looks like some sort of grung. There doesn't seem to be anybody else at the fire, but you do notice that he seems to be preoccupied with something. And it's the sun that's kind of like cascading over it, giving you that illusion that it may or may not be green, it may or may not be
I was
yellow.
gonna say, what color is it?
Yeah.
I will, in Grung, be like from a distance, still call out to him and be like, "Hi, excuse me."
Okay. How close are you getting?
I think like 30 feet. Like I'll give it some distance, so
Okay.
that way, just in case like it's a bad situation, I can get out.
At a hopping distance.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have grabbed the fire of the thing over there. There's like a little fireplace kind of thing. It's not
cool.
going to be that important.
Is the raft still there?
Oh, what?
This is.
No, it's a totally different
Yeah.
situation.
So you call out and you see all of a sudden you see the sun glint off of what looks like some sort of giant seashell as the creature that looks like a grung hops up. Now you see that this creature is definitely not some little 2.5 to 3 foot creature, but
Son of a.
roughly somewhere between 5 and 6 feet tall.
Whoa.
Just kind of hops up, grabs his spear, and then notices that there's the state that the body is in, and grabs a shield and holds it in front, almost as if trying to shield your eyes from.
Oh, I will
that-
turn around and be
that
like,
fleshy-
"Oh, I'm sorry. Are you naked?" And I'll say it both in common and in grung. Like, I don't know what is naked for your people.
What is
Hello?
Hi.
You were.
I was just looking for my friends. I don't. Can I Are you dressed?
No.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, sort of.
Oh.
I'm covered.
Okay. I'll just like slowly turn around and be like,
So
and
you
like
s-
show him like my hands, like I'm not threatening. I'm just
Yeah.
like.
So he's got like this, like you can see over the shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he's got like a couple of eyes. That he seems to be bald and just like, but there's kind of like these
Do I know
like
what
bonyish
creature he is?
patch. Probably not yet.
Okay.
And there's a shield, and you notice on the shield, it actually seems to be like shaped in the form of like a maze. And like maybe it was carved in like that. Behind it, you start to see what it is that was making the light look so incredible. And it's a giant shell. Maybe like a shell from a snail, if it were a giant snail.
Oh my! Do you live in that shell?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's my protection.
It's like your clothes.
Yes, that's what you have.
Yes.
Are your clothes hard like? Of course they're not.
No.
He seems like pretty like he's had his own little inside joke.
Yeah.
there. And like he's used that
I was like,
quite often with other humans.
But my armor kind of is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you cold?
No.
Oh.
Are you cold?
It's a little drafty.
Do you want a moment to get back into your shell?
Oh, I hadn't finished carving it yet.
Oh, did you do all the carving on your shield too?
I did.
That's really pretty.
Thanks. We've been talking a while.
I know. I'm sorry. I got distracted. I was just looking for my friends. I don't know if you've seen them. It was a grung and 2 humans.
Oh, I more meant that I didn't feel as though I was being polite.
Oh.
I'm Doyle.
Oh, I'm Jakeen. Hi.
Hi, Jakeen.
I don't know if I'm supposed to shake your hand or not.
I would wait.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you would like to come sit by the fire for me to finish. And he starts to like pull the shield away, like he just kind of like goes to set it down and sets the spear next to it, like the Aquala next to it. And then he just turns back around and you actually see that he picks up like kind of a war pick. Okay. And he starts to like kind of like chisel into the shell again. As he sits down, now that you're not a threat or you don't seem to be a threat.
Is the bone mask attached to my face at this point?
So just like with
I just want to know what level of scary I look.
I'm trying to remember exactly how is Harax? Harax.
Yeah.
Just like with him, it actually already blended into his skin.
Okay,
the only time it was visible was after you guys had
Crushed his head.
Crushed his head with it.
dismembered the bone near his occipital and other lobes.
When he was ashen bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, all of this is
Perfect,
like, and even the armor that you're wearing, like it still kind of just looks like yours, but now it has some hardened adornments around the outside. So it pretty much nobody is going to just recognize by looking
Right.
at
She
you.
doesn't look like a death knight walking around.
Yeah, I'm not like, what's up?
Right. You probably did
I'm
still
just
have
your friendly.
right. And you probably did still have
Ranger.
your sword out as you were walking through, and you have got your shield. But when
Yeah.
you saw him come up,
Yeah, I did like.
you take the sword, and your shield now has a sheath in it. So you actually take it and slide the sword into the shield, and just actually slide it all the way onto your back like that, and you're able to walk up and kind of sit down. And so he's just there, like with his hammer, because this is like a war pick kind of hammer.
Yeah.
And you see him just like carefully chiseling, slow and steady. Every now and then he'll like make a thing and be like, tip, 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 to like make another little side angle come out. And then he'll go tip, 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 tip back into the main circle. And you're able to kind of see that he's basically making the same embellishments as on his shield.
Okay. What are those things that you're carving?
Do you want to start on the outside or the inside?
Which side do you think's better? I want to start with whatever side you think's better.
Well, most people want to be inside because they feel like that makes them closer to Utao.
Then the inside.
Okay. So are you trying to get away from Utao?
No?
I didn't think so. Two can hold my shield and play with the maze on there.
Okay.
I vary them slightly.
Cool.
Okay. So he goes back to doing the chiseling thing like that.
I'm just like guy like confusedly like look at a shield and I'm like, I guess I'll just like do this maze puzzle.
Oh my God, you're having craft moments with something in the jungle.
So as you're working, or as he's working on this, like after about probably 15 or 20 minutes, and like I don't even know if you're actually paying attention to this thing. You're just watching this creature, or you're actually using the maze that's on it. You're doing the puzzle, but like
I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
10 to 15 minutes goes by. Does it still keep going by? Is there anything else you want to do or say?
I don't. He said he didn't see my friends, right?
He actually didn't say one way or the other.
Oh.
He dodged the question.
Oh yeah. Did you just that thing about my friends? I don't know if you by any chance saw them. 2 humans and a grung. Probably on a raft, maybe.
Tip, 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 tip. I did see a campfire.
Oh, what direction did you see that in?
North.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that information. Thank you.
Tip, 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 tip.
What was your name again?
I'm Doyle.
Doyle? Thank you. I'm Jaqueen.
Hi, we did that.
I'm sorry. I've had a long, very long couple of days.
You look like a paladin. Are you a paladin? Tip, 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 tip.
No, I think it's like much worse than that.
Oh, Utao provides.
That's true.
I am a paladin of Utao.
Oh, that's awesome.
Most of my race does not. I'm sorry. Most of my race does not really follow.
He seems to be like visibly saddened by that, as best you can tell, with these large, kind of like spine bone, like eyebrows, and like it seems that there's even like some good kind of protection around his face. And then he goes,
But that's okay. Have you seen the shell?
The
Do
shell-
you know where it's from?
I don't know where it's from.
Tip, tip, tip. This is the shell of a flail snail. They're typically not very aggressive creatures, but their shells are very special
Why?
because they are innately resistant to magic.
That's pretty awesome.
Right.
I would really like some armor made out of one of those shells.
Me too.
How do we get some?
I've got some.
What?
Yes.
Oh man, the thing is, I've really got to find I really want to work on this armor thing with you, but I've got to find my friends.
I'm good at armor. It's what I did.
How about have you ever been to Port Nyanzaro?
Yes.
How about we meet up there, or you can come with me if you want. But
Maybe.
and so as he's doing that, like you see him start to kind of like take the armor and shimmy into it in a way, but it's almost like a 5-year-old putting on a shirt. Like he just kind of like goes, slides under, like lifts the thing up, and even that, the scintillating colors that come off of it just kind of like look like this rainbow that kind of like, it's like the mix of like a rainbow and a disco ball that just across you.
that armor's so cool.
Yeah, and you kind of have to shield your eyes for a half second when you do it until he gets it on, and you can see that he's basically reattached it to the bottom part of what would look like the bottom protection of a turtle, right?
Freaking hermit crab.
So he pulls it on, and he's got it on there. He's like,
Have you met my kind before?
I have not, I don't think.
I'm a turtle.
Oh,
Yes. You look like a human, are you?
I'm a human.
Some people hide their ears.
Oh, I don't have. You can see my ears. I'm just human.
Not one of those plainer Kelishtar, are ya?
No,
Okay. They do things to your mind.
they do. I can't do those things.
Okay.
Okay. No.
he kind of like thinks about it again for a second. He's like, wait a minute, would she tell me? It's kind of like the look that furrows across his brow until, and you guys just stand there and stare at each other for a couple of seconds, and then you kind of hear from behind you, Doyle, Doyle, who are you talking to? And when you turn to look at the ridge behind you, you see that there's this forgive me, these are not white robes, but basically he's got white robes, and he's like emerging from the jungle up on like one of the ridges, just a little higher. And he goes, Doyle, who are you talking to? Who are you?
I'm Jaqueen. Hi. I'm just looking for my friends.
Meow. That was the cat. He looks pretty much like a native Cholden. He has kind of these like whiter robes, but and his head's shaved mostly. He does have like kind of one long stripe of a mohawk, but it's off to the side in some weird way. It's kind of like the opposite of that thing where people like have all the hair and then they shave the one side and they flip it over. It's like the opposite of that. So he's like got the Padawan rat tail, but only on like the side of his head.
It's a monk braid.
Kind of.
I got it.
Yeah, kind
It's
of.
a look.
I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've actually seen it.
So he goes,
Who are you?
I'm Jaqueen. I just said that.
yes, I'm listening to the way you said that.
Oh.
As if it wasn't your real name.
Uh,
Or maybe it is.
I don't think I have another name.
And he goes, so, Doyle, did you check this one? She seemed nice. She did the maze.
Oh. Okay. And he like hops down off the thing, but you actually see him, instead of hopping, you see him like kind of like phase shift.
Okay.
Like just kind of like, and he ends up like popping like right next to you. And you can see him look you up and down, holding a Yaquala. Or sorry, actually he is not holding a Yaquala. He is just kind of sitting there, and then you see him snap the Yaquala that was there to his hand, and he kind of leans on it in front of you, and he goes,
I am Benies.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you.
The pleasure to meet you. Who are you? I know your name, but who are you?
Oh man, I don't even know that anymore. I am an adventurer, and I was helping some friends get another friend back, and we found them, and then I almost died, but instead I made a really weird deal.
Okay. Should I be alarmed?
I don't think so.
Do you mind if I study you?
No?
Well, that's a good sign.
he takes his Yaquala, holds it up, and then goes, and it just disappears as if it were like snatched into another realm.
That's awesome.
This is trick.
I like that trick. It looks really, really cool.
Your sword sits in your shield.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nice trick.
Oh, thank you.
So he's going to take a little bit of time, and he kind of like, he takes a little bit of time to kind of like look you over up and down. He does this thing where it's almost like he's like keeping a couple of feet distance from you and just taking a little walk around, and like as you follow him around one way, you go to like turn your head and he just stops and goes back the other way. Like he's trying to see if there's maybe something around the side of your chin, but trying not to be rude about it.
Sure.
And so he goes, so then he finally like sits down, and as he's sitting down, like the thing materializes, he snatches it and sets it across his lap. And he sits on the opposite side of Doyle.
And he just leans forward and he goes, so what do you want? Why are you here? It is not smart to travel alone.
I know. I need to. God, there's so many things I need to do right now. The first thing I really need to do is find my friends. Second thing I really need to do is get rid of this death curse situation.
Oh, yes. You, would not have happened to, want to trade some sort of information, would you?
Maybe?
You are headed north, no?
Yes.
I could tell you things. You are from the south. Perhaps you could tell me things.
Okay.
Have you seen any heretic mages?
I saw a bunch of cultists.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Priests.
Yes.
Yes.
We saw a lot of them.
That is good. Well,
Well, we.
good for me.
Oh.
I hunt.
Oh, good. I was like, we killed a bunch of them too, and I didn't want to let that out just in case they were your friends, and this was gonna turn really ugly really fast.
No. Tell me where.
And like, can I like show him on a map or something, like just like the general direction of where we?
I don't know. Ask me.
No, I'm asking you, Rudy.
I
My lid
know.
is.
You can do anything you want to. with
Okay,
life.
so I'm gonna I'd try and draw like a little dirt map with a stick and.
Why do that? Here, use my map.
Oh, that's way better.
I cannot take that with me.
What is it?
I cannot take the dirt
No,
with
you
me.
are absolutely right.
I can. It's just a pain.
And then I'll point to the map where like their temple was.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the other place where there was an explosion and a lot of them also died.
Oh, you tracked that far.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
dangerous land.
Yeah,
Even my kind do not go there very often. Not unless we have to.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. It's pretty terrible.
The whole time, Doyle is just sitting there kind of like, but it's so slow that it's like you guys have actually concluded your sentences
He's still going.
before he like, no, like not entirely, but like you'll finish a sentence and then his eyes get over to you, but this one started and then he starts to drag back over to the other side. So he's like trying to keep up with it and he's hearing it all, but it's like he's a little bit behind.
Yeah.
So eventually he gets to the place where he's just like, he just kind of stops and you see him retreat down into the shell for a second. Not his arms, not his legs, just the head. Just pops down for a little bit. And then Binyez is like, hey, so these are places to go. Have you seen a priest that is able to suck the life force out of a thing?
He's dead.
Which one?
The in charge one.
Which one is the in charge one?
The high priest? I forget. I forget his exact description.
It is unlikely you found a priest of entropy with a...
The one with the wife and the crystal?
No.
Oh. Well, the guy that
I mean, he could have a wife. He could have a crystal. But that is not the one I am looking for. I believe the one you were talking about was actually a... Well, poor guy. Anyway, we will not talk about him. He's not the one.
Oh, okay.
But there are priests of entropy. They are able to tear apart the mage weave. They're able to suck the life force out of magic. It is me and my order, once made at Mesro, in the College of the Mage. Now with the Mage Hunter, after Mesro was snatched during the spell plague. Also, best not to confuse with Spirit Lord. You have not seen Spirit Lord, no?
No.
Spirit Lords are
Wait.
druids. I believe they call them up in the Sword Coast.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yes. We
Yes.
saw one druid. We still haven't found her, though.
Her.
Yes.
Hey, did you hear that? There is female druid around. We are looking for girl, yes?
Yes.
Great.
She's a little...
Yes. Girl gnome.
Yes.
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 Is she your friend?
Yes.
Okay, I really hope she's still alive. These flying monkeys took her off a plateau, and it was...
Oh no, did you hear that, Doyle? And Doyle's head like pops right back out like insanely fast. And he goes, Yulasani?
Yes.
We're looking for Yulasani.
Oh, I love Unisani, but
She's great.
So...
Uptal provides.
Uptal provides, yes. So we were in a little fight, not like together, but like these other people.
Yulasani?
Not with Ulasani, no. These other people attacked us. This other person attacked us. And then there were some flying monkeys. And she went over the side of the cliff, but we don't, I think the flying monkeys grabbed her, or maybe a pterodactyl did. We're not sure, but we haven't been able to find her.
Oh. We should continue.
I hope you find her.
Ben yes. Let's go. And he goes, okay, Doya. Which way you are headed directly north, or are you now headed north to the interior?
North to the interior, towards Fort Nine-Zaro. Yeah.
Okay.
Or towards wherever I saw the fire.
Can you show me on the map where you were with Yulasani?
Yeah, of course. And then I point to the mesa that we were on with her.
Oh. That is to the east. Okay.
We've been a lot of places lately.
I will accompany you. We will accompany you for a ways if you wish.
That'd be great.
I think it is always safer. You are alone, yes?
Yes.
You're not pulling me. Pulling
No,
my...
I'm looking
your
for my
product.
friends, but I haven't found them yet.
Okay. You think that they had something to do with the fire up north?
I think it might have been their fire. I'm hoping it was their fire.
Indeed. Okay. We will take you back a little ways north and then head in east. Our paths will probably diverge as we must move to the southwest.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go. So he gets up and like kind of Doyle gets up and
Twisted
kind of
it
like
up.
sets himself like up and like gets kind of does like some calisthenics in a way, and then starts to make his way towards the thing. He actually doesn't seem to be moving that slowly.
Yeah.
It's just as if maybe that's the way that he talks.
Yeah.
And you see Binyez do the kind of like phase shift every now and then when he hears something specific and like darts off one way or the other. But even when they're walking with you, they insist on you being in the center, as if they're trying to take care of you as you walk through the interior. Or
I'm
sorry,
like, I
as
don't
you
feel
walk
like
down
suspicious about any of this. Like, I mean, I agreed to travel with these two guys, but I hope they don't murder me.
You can
They
always
seem nice.
They are one is the paladin of Taos.
you can always
No,
do an
no.
insight check.
No, I mean, they seem nice.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with instinct here. I'm gonna say they seem like nice people. I hope they don't murder. Well, and I haven't been sleeping lately anyway, so I don't even have to worry about them murdering me in my sleep.
That's fair. Although you do start to get the feeling that they're slowing you down. So you guys have made your little area. You've kind of like messed up some of the, where you guys were actually in the middle of deciding if you were going to really stir up the ashes or anything, right?
I decided not to because he was so assertive with me.
Okay.
Because he
So
said
you left
don't,
it kind
and
of
I was
like
"All
kindling
right."
a little bit. It's-
I made it clear the fire was made here.
okay.
I took his side.
You think it's what?
I took his side on the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys have started to head in towards the
Yes.
interior.
Yes.
All right. As you do, maybe a day or so in, you are able to kind of like, well, you come up on a, what looks like some high ground that is kind of splitting two lower pieces. So the path before you kind of leads to the left, to the right, and up over a ridge right above. Do you have a, you're faced with a decision.
The decision
Do I have
being
time-
that we
do we
can
have
go
time
up the
to-
ridge.
Does this?
Do we have time to check the map? Or
Sure.
I was gonna
The
ask.
map does not show something in this detail.
Does the area that we're walking in right now? Does it seem like an area that other people have walked?
The jungle is kind of like refreshing itself on a daily basis, like the rains
so it's hard
come.
to tell.
So it's really tough to tell. It'd be like telling where snow is, like when it's falling in like droves every day.
Right.
Do we have
Do we
the
have water on
water
that
thing?
side?
I don't think it's over here. No.
Oh, we got it.
Nope.
Should
I'll
we take the high ground?
peer over.
Can I?
How high up is the ridge? Can I like peer over the ridge and see?
No, it's actually more like a crest that you would like walk along up to the side. So it's kind of like you're not just faced with like a high road and a low road, but there's a fork, and it looks like all three have somewhat of a path.
Do I perceive any details about anything if I'm looking around? Like including like thinking about where the ground go.
Make
and
me your
everything like
perception
that?
check.
Okay.
All roads lead to Nerzar.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, perception. It's 10.
10. You are able to see that the entire area looks as though it is trafficked. It is trafficked by undead, whether they're zombies or
Either way
skeletons or whatnot. Huh?
Either way is
The entire area, even where you came from, seems to have been trafficked
Okay.
by these creatures.
I don't know where we should go. I just know the undead, they're everywhere around here, including the flourish that just happened in the music.
Well, I guess all roads lead to Port Naranzaru, yes? Well, I don't see any one particularly being better than the other in this circumstances. What does your gut say, Reef?
So it's straight ahead or to either side.
The straight ahead actually rises about 10 feet up. Left and right each have a.
So it's just much steeper.
It's. I wouldn't say it's much steeper, but it's like a ridge
a
that goes
crest.
up. You crest over it. It's like a hill, and the other sides are not that hill.
Right.
Reef and Jakeen, Reef and Johan go up the hill.
Johan Wielder, should we leave like a marker for the other one if you really want to see the other one?
That's an excellent idea.
That was a very good idea.
Thank you, Lepad.
Just
do we
because I'm
have?
the frogman, don't mean I don't have good
I
ideas.
actually can do this and make this really easy. I will put down illusory script. Although I have to do touch for it for them to be able to read it. So
Touch whom?
touch whomever I want the designated creature to be able to read the illusory
Gotcha.
script.
So you can't really do anything, huh?
No. Instead, I will find the most least underground, least like under foliage area around, and then I will just put JW in sticks, and then I will make an arrow pointing straight ahead towards the crest that we are going up.
Okay, so you guys are gonna take the crest.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
We'll go straight.
Okay, so as you guys start to walk your way up the crest, you notice that there is a pretty distinct lack of undead footprints up here. It doesn't look like any that are missing toes or anything of the sort. As you make your way up, to your right, which would be like the northern side, you see a pit. And in this pit, there are just a bunch of zombies.
Down?
Yeah.
Okay.
That are just kind of like walking into each other. Bobbing back and forth. Make me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Stupid they are. But 15.
Oh.
Oh.
It's not as bad as I
Yeah,
expected.
right. I
Reactions.
expected worse.
So as you start to laugh, Reef goes, sorry. And you, and there's a, down there, one of the zombies goes like and just starts shambling around again. Bumps into another zombie and like kind of ping pongs off in a different direction, and they bump into another one. It's just this little kind of bumper car, zombie bumpers.
You have to admit,
It's on bumpers.
hilarious.
It is. It's very funny.
The area down there looks as though it is probably something that, probably in the shape of a 30-ish foot kind of area.
They're in a pit, right?
Kind of, yeah. Like it's kind of like a obviously it's not like a square. It's obviously not like a complete circle, but it's like this depression that is just a little too steep for them to get up individually.
I see, individually. And are they're not blocking a way, they're to the right of us, right?
Doesn't seem like they can get anywhere to block anything except for wandering around in this thing.
Should we just go past them? They're not doing anything.
Yeah,
Just
let's just
stupid undead.
be quiet. Don't laugh at them.
All right.
We'll just keep going.
Okay. We're gonna walk by them.
Okay.
Okay, maybe in the quiet. Okay.
About 3 minutes later, to the left of this situation, looking a little bit more to the south, you notice that there seems to be a family of little tiny scorpions, just kind of like, they're not like, you know, actual scorpion size. They seem to be much larger, but they're not the giant variety that you guys know exist in the
Jungles.
far off desert areas of the Sword Coast and
Yeah.
whatnot. You see them kind of clittering around down there, like clack, 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 clack.
Cool.
As you continue to walk by, as you continue to walk through that, you also kind of get the feeling that the insect repellent that you had is starting to wear off.
I have more.
We found some in the
Found some.
in the building. Well, we'll put it back on.
Would you like to stop and apply it?
Stop and apply
Yeah.
it.
Great, give me a stealth check.
Of course.
Should be sneaky with the putting on of the things.
You too, oh, I guess you don't have to do
I
it.
don't need to.
16?
20.
20. So you guys are able to put it on real nice and quiet, like handing it back and forth, and probably about as you're putting the lid back on the jar, sliding it back into your pack, you notice that the two very large scorpions come out of what looks like a cave, a little depression, and another one like rustles out of some bushes and is like down there, like, and then one of them has a kind of looks like a mauled and torn hide of like a deer or something, but to your knowledge, you haven't seen any deer around this area pretty much the entire time you've been there, so you don't really know what the back
Why do I
end of this
have
carcass
this
is.
weird feeling that we're picking up on the breadcrumbs of someone else going through this area? Well,
And
But
as
it doesn't seem like they've taken notice.
it didn't notice you, and in fact, as it moves through, you see it kind of like lay the thing down, and all the little ones swarm over to it. And
Okay.
Isn't
And you
Nate-
can see the little ones just like dropping, like popping it with their stingers, even though it's clearly just the back end of a carcass. Like getting practice, like clip, clip, clap.
Isn't Chult lovely? And all of its creepy crawly
Yes,
things.
the Chult
Well,
is
let's
lovely.
just
Maybe we
let's
should
just
keep going
go.
to Chohan Wielder
know.
and do this one.
Okay, so you guys continue along, yeah? All right, you make your way down to the other side, and you start to see like kind of like some strewn about corpses, look rotting of goblins.
Yeah, no, someone's been here before. That's definitely clear. Between something else and goblins.
And these goblins not only
Maybe we're finally catching up with the ones that might have the shards, the other parts.
That means they're still ahead of us, John Wielder. We
Yes.
should push the farther, faster.
Okay.
Well
We still
said.
need to be quiet. We still need
But
to be
be
careful.
quiet, yes. That was all said in the quiet voice.
So you, as you kind of like step through the little low, shallow grave of the goblins, you notice that they kind of look like they're zombies. They also kind of look partially digested. And then a little ways further, you see a very large, what you would call a footprint of probably like a brontosaurus or something along those lines.
All right.
And then you continue along the way. You and your little party are trudging through the woods. Yeah, and that's kind of the feeling you get because they're wanting to stop as the sun starts to go down and go ahead and make a new camp. It is probably best.
No, I completely understand. I'm just in a bit of a rush, but I really appreciate you traveling with me, but I think I'm just gonna like continue on through the night.
Jakin,
Yes.
it is not wise.
I know it's probably not wise, but I really gotta find my friends.
Don't go.
I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. I hope you guys find Yulasani, and hopefully maybe we can all meet up in Port Nine-Zaro soon.
I don't go often.
You should definitely come by. I want to really talk to you about that armor situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm like trying to think if I have any like personal like effects or something that I can leave as like a little parting gift with
Your
them.
business card.
I don't know, like, do you have anything that you recall from your, like, any notes that you've written?
My
of
old
anything?
sword.
You do have your old sword.
Yeah, I guess I'll just be like, it's not much, but just a little gift to you for traveling together.
They kind of both look at it, and then look at each other. And Doyle kind of holds up his pick and his shield, and he's like, I don't have anywhere to put it.
Oh,
And Benitez goes, well, I guess if you have a sheath, I could put it on, but it might slow me down.
oh, I don't want to slow you down anymore. I just wanted to leave you with something nice.
I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah.
It is nice. Here, I will clean off your situation. And he uses prestidigitation to kind of like clean off your nasty, bloody armor.
I really appreciate that. Thank
Wait,
you.
prestidigitation can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I've been dirty this entire
Yeah.
time. And it's a cantrip.
And none of us will tell you.
I wish you good travels.
You too.
I hope to see you again, Jackie.
Absolutely.
Which way will you go?
I'll be heading towards Port Nyanzaru. Hopefully I make it.
Well, yes, but that is a general direction, no?
It is, but I mean, I plan to actually be in the port, the city.
I believe you.
Yes.
But do you know how to get there?
I believe I do,
Okay.
but if you have any other instructions or recommendations.
Well, now I would go north until you find the coastline.
Oh, see, I have a feeling my friends probably ended up going through the jungle, and because that's where the campfire was towards, so I'm gonna head towards that.
Okay.
But hopefully I can find them and I can take us up to the coastline before they die.
Of course, the coastline.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Jackie. Be safe.
You too, Doyle.
Okay. Which way are you going?
Towards the
That's
campfire.
NPC.
Right.
It's
You guys left the campfire a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
You guys got up to the coast. You saw the little campfire that
Oh,
was there, and you like You started heading inside into the interior.
Yeah.
If I failed that, I'm sorry. I thought that I had done it because my brain was already like.
I didn't realize I was like all the way up at the coast already.
Well, you're not all the way up the coast.
Okay.
You made it to their campfire,
Right.
and then you guys cut in.
Okay, so I would like to use tracking or try and track with.
I know where I went wrong. Okay.
Am I confused?
No,
I
I'm
mess
pretty
something
sure
up?
that I thought that you guys had made it to the campfire, and I did the thing in my head that I wanted to do.
Yeah,
I
we
was
didn't do
excited
anything
about
at the
it.
campfire. That's why I was
Okay.
super
I definitely
confused.
didn't
I was
hear
like,
anything
oh,
having to do with our
we
campfire.
passed that? Oh,
Okay.
I missed that turn.
So you come up to the water. You come up to the campfire on the water, and you can see that not only was there like kind of a campfire that seems to have the same kind of markings and footprints that you're expecting, but it had started to scorch the earth heading towards the forest until the rains came and seemed to have made it all just kind of dissipate. But it definitely gives you like a direction in a way.
Yeah, the scorched earth is.
It kind of looks like somebody tried to put it out, but didn't.
And then it caused a forest fire.
And then it caused, well, luckily there was not a whole lot of luckily there wasn't a whole lot of foliage right
like
there.
a lot of greenwood.
But
yeah.
the further, the closer it got to it, it started to finally trickle out.
Yeah.
As if maybe disaster was averted by a matter of, minutes. Whoopsies.
So I will go in the direction that I see the footprints or boot tracks that I can track and be like, these guys, what are they doing? They're gonna burn down the jungle.
So at this point you still have the other two with you, and they go, I think we should stoke this under. We should spread this
No,
about.
agreed. Yeah, let's put this out properly. And I start scooping dirt on it and spreading the ashes properly.
So they all walk around with you, and you can just kind of see that that Beniz is using mage hand to shuffle the dirt around, and he's like, do they not have many things at disposal to handle this?
No, they did. I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to make it so I would know that they were there, but I don't know why none of them remembered I'm a ranger and could have just tracked their footprints and stuff, and instead they just almost burned down the jungle.
Oh, you are a ranger.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
weird.
Why have you not been in the lead? You did not tell us.
In the, what is it?
In the lead, we had Doyle doing his thing.
I'm sorry. I can absolutely take the lead. I didn't.
You should.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because you get all them lead bountiful.
So now that you have taken the lead, give me a survival check.
For taking the lead, is that the one
Well, if
with
you're
the terrain?
leading the party, yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't know that was in any of it. And that's why I was like,
Ranger things.
Ranger things.
Not
no.
stranger.
Ranger
I crit.
You crit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you're finally okay, good, and you start to actually take off, and they seem to be hustling to keep up with you at this point. You're only at a pretty brisk stride, but you can hear Doyle thudding along as the thing, and every now and then when you stop seeing this the disco ball light effects start to fade, you kind of slow to a trot for a second until they catch back up, and then you start hoofing it again. And with that check, you actually find them just after this crest and the thing on both
And the
sides.
zombie scorpion traps.
Yeah, you moved right past it with them, and your crit was just I see this, we're good.
Bad.
So you have actually managed to achievement unlocked. You actually managed to get them to the group. You catch up to them just beyond the ridge, probably about 30, 40 minutes beyond the ridge when they kind of stop for a little lunch break, and you, all of a sudden, you guys are there.
Really briskly walking in.
You guys are there taking a knee, kind of going through and spreading out some he's brought back some berries, and you've kind of spread some berries against some of the rations, and
Right.
you kind of fold it and make a little
Jam
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just kind of sitting there with this. Your clothes are now sopping wet again from the last rain, and through the thing, you start to hear this rumble, and you hear a thud, 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 and then this rustling of leaves going back and forth, And if I hadn't already told you, I would make you do perception checks and all that stuff. But through a large cluster of foliage just pops Jakeen.
Go! Whoa!
Make me a Zelf check.
Yeah, 14.
Okay. I believe that's going to make it about time for us to go to a break.
All right.
So,
Master of suspense.
yeah, well, so when we come back from the break, we will do some, they're going to have to be really quick announcements at this point, but also some raffles. We got a lot of stuff to give away. Number one, and this one is super easy, if you are a DDO player, you can come hang out with us on the stream. We'll give you that information a little bit later too. But you can go ahead and get some free experience by putting Maze Arcana into the redeem field on the website.
Nice.
So you guys can get a free elixir no matter what server you're on, even if you are not hanging out with us on the Kyber server. More stuff to come, but we will talk about that a little bit later. Go to break, please.
good reason not to run. How I'd love to be proved wrong. How I'd love to be proved wrong. If it only meant you here in my arms for a moment. Longer than one for a moment. Longer than one. Whoa, whoa, la da la da da la da da la da da. I saw you drop me a line, but your words have no weight, and someone else took the bait. Now the hook just drifts in the waves. No, I didn't hear a word after you said her name in my ears. How it rang from lips these fingers used to trace. I want Don't wanna track you inside. You said you still felt my currents in your knees. Love made us strong, love makes us weak, and time changes things. You said you still felt my currents in your knees. Love made us strong, love makes us
We lost another tree.
No.
Oh.
That looks like one of the like poison plant ones there. That's fine. That tree can go.
Yeah.
Suck it, tree.
Don't touch us.
It'll make this whole encounter really easy.
Yeah.
Now there's hiding area. Okay, so we're gonna do a real quick return raffle thingy on the thing here. So first up, we have these really awesome metal die that Kyle got us for a blue. They're all D8s, and that's significant for Maze Arcana because our symbol is the D8. We didn't go with the standard D20 that everybody else does, nor do we take the D6, which all the conventions do. We have D8s. So if you want one of these, I believe we all signed the sticker the other night, so I think it would be customary for this show to sign this one when we send it out. That's going to be the first thing. After that, I'm going to rapid fire shoot some off, and that's basically going to be Neverwinter mounts. So whether you play on the PC, the Xbox, or the PlayStation 4, we have some exclusive Neverwinter mounts that are for the launch of Tomb of Annihilation on console.
Cool.
So we'll be giving that stuff out. And we'll put up the other stuff for some of the, for DDO, which will have an experience potion, plus also a really awesome prize that we can't talk about yet until the thing comes out on our anniversary, which is October 1st stream. That's for Maze Arcana. All right. Number 1, satchel. Number 2, go buy the satchel because we have it on the satchel shop on the website. It's
Satchel,
awesome.
satchel.
Satchel.
Oh, you guys
Everybody,
just-
the audience is now dead. You guys outlasted
let
the
it be
audience.
noted that I have not
We
said
no
that.
longer have an audience. So.
All right, so I'm going to rapid fire these off. Rappel, draw.
What is happening over here?
Oh, something awesome?
What
Record that
is
for some-
summoning?
The Elder Gods?
Apparently. Jeez.
And then,
Yes.
And then
Sloth showed up? What?
yes, that's
Okay.
you. So, you guys come running through the forest and you're like, you come striding in, thud, thud, you guys hear the thud, 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 thud. And then Jakeen, and then Johan yells.
Jakeen!
And then from the,
I haven't learned anything.
But I'm also like really happy to see him.
yeah, you guys pop into this clearing. There's a big opening right there on the edge of this, you know, of the heavy foliage. And as you yell,
Yes.
all you hear
Yes.
after that, you don't even hear them go, shh, you just hear, as out of the bushes right there. What? So you can see what it looks like.
Okay, Grug.
Yeti type?
And as it opens its mouth to spit, just this acrid, like, dead smell wafts across your nostrils. It looks as though it is being aggressive in a way that doesn't necessarily reflect an intelligence, especially since its eyes seem to be glazed over.
Oh.
Do I know
Okay.
what this thing
it's
is?
undead.
Okay.
You know what it normally would look like.
Yeah.
It would
Which
normally look like a very large gorilla of sorts.
Okay.
But this is a very specific breed called a Grillion.
Okay.
And this seems to be missing certain pieces of its body.
Okay.
But as you are staring at that one, you notice pop out of the trees and pop out of the trees.
Okay.
Okay. Or do we initiative?
We're going to roll that initiative.
'Cause I was waiting for it.
You were so ready.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I have the
Yay.
same, but I don't know what your plus is.
No, my plus is 12.
Oh, yeah. It's only plus 2.
All right, who got above a, who got a 20 or above?
I got 20.
20, Reef. 15 or above. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Okay, 10 or Above.
I got 12.
Oh no, guys.
12.
All right. 5 or above.
Got a 9.
I had an 8.
What'd you get?
8.
An 8.
Yeah. Yeah, this music is appropriate.
Wow. I rolled a lot of numbers that just sequentially went like directly in order.
Okay, that's nice. As long as they're low.
Yeah, right.
So, you guys drop.
Jaqueen!
You yell out, you hear that, then you hear like the.
I just like you see me from like I'm like pulling my sword. I'm like
So happy and then so not
As you
happy.
as
Yeah,
you
so
Thank
happy
God
and then
you're
just, like-
here!
all right, so you're basically rushing into the clearing and stopping and like drawing out your sword.
well, like I'll like get rush out and like be like really happy to see them, and the second I hear him yell, I'm just like.
Okay, so you hear him yell, and it is accompanied by the sound of the shring as the sword slides out of the top of the shield. She starts to stride towards the. Well, I'll let her pick which one because she's not quite all the way down. Luckily, you didn't stop, so the turtle does not slam into the back of you. We'll give you a little bit of space here, and he disappears.
We did see him phase.
You guys,
Whoa!
I guess you didn't really notice that. You scream again.
Oh God.
Why is
And
this
I just like with the sword
happening?
and shield, I'm just like.
And then, Reef, despite these things popping out of seemingly nowhere, you still manage to, your reflexes still manage to kick in first. What do you want to do?
I want to. Is that tree actually knocked over?
Yes.
Great. I want to run toward this one, use my whip to grab its leg, and try to make it fall flat on its face, like as I'm running by. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So you're going to run past this one.
Yeah, and then try
which,
to hide
which
behind
way
the
are
tree.
you trying to do that?
Toward this way.
Okay.
Not so that I'm going between two of them. Does that make sense?
Yes. However, by the grid, you would either need to go around the pad. I'll also let you try and jump over him. Or going between the two of them is actually a pretty safe move as far as they are spread far enough for you to be able to get through that little area. And you only have 30 feet of movement without using a bonus action or your action to dash.
Okay.
So it's you can get about 6 squares. It'll let you get to the trees.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. So as you by, now do you want this to be like an attack, or do you want this to be like a like you actually want to like try and trip?
I wanna knock him over,
Okay.
if possible.
So what I'm going to allow you to do is take out the whip, and because it's not a direct attack, you won't be able to use your crossbow master feat to fire an
I don't
extra
even
shot
have
at
it.
it. Oh yeah, you don't have your crossbow.
No,
That's right.
I only have my whip.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you make like a grapple check. So that'll be like you. I'll let the whip like hit, but in order to wrap it around like the ankle or something like that and pull, you're gonna need to beat him on a basically contested strength check.
Okay.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
That's
this.
basically,
You
yeah.
got this.
Or she can compare it against her dex.
No.
Not her.
No,
I
not
did
her.
not.
Okay.
What did you get?
11.
Do you have
Okay. Well,
anything on
actually, contested. You did. I got an 11 as well. Sorry, my
doesn't-
bonus is +4.
But do you
And was
have
that
any
with your
bonus?
No,
athletics?
I have
check?
no bonus to strength.
Or athletics?
What about your athletics?
No, because athletics is strength. So I have no
But
bonus.
but it looks like it's circled in there, so that means you're proficient.
Athletics? No.
No?
Acrobatics is.
Acrobatics. I thought athletics was the one right under acrobatics. My apologies.
Nope.
Nope, that would probably be like Arcana.
Animal handling.
Animal handling. Okay, so you go and you snap at the thing. It doesn't even feel the whip hit, but you duck under the side, or you slide underneath the trees. make me a, using your bonus action, I'm assuming, to hide. So make me your stealth check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crit.
Okay. So as far as you know, you're hidden. The 3 creatures close on who is left.
Oof. Oh God, that doesn't look good for Lapad.
Make them hop. Just touch them both. That would probably make them really difficult to fight. Actually, maybe don't do that.
They're just like hopping around.
They're just hopping all over the place.
It's like Halo when people are just like bouncing. Yeah. You gotta stop bouncing. I can't aim.
So the first hit is a
Bless you.
is a 23.
Bless
you. And the second one is a 12. I think the first one hits. Yeah.
You're going against my AC?
You're against your AC. Yeah.
Okay, one of them hits. Yeah,
Okay.
the higher one. The other one, it's 16. It's my armor class. So.
All right, so you'll take 16, or not 16. You'll take 6 points of damage off that first shot.
Okay.
The next one next to you will hit for a 20.
I thought the other one didn't hit though. But
So there's 2 of them on you.
uh-huh.
They seem to be attacking rather savagely.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
they get 2
So they got
attacks.
multiple attacks.
Seems like it.
Oh God.
Okay. So the next one swings at you as you're trying to dodge out of the way, and a 20 and a 22 are both going to hit.
Sure. Yeah, they're gonna hit.
And that'll be 11 more points of damage as it bounds over. You're dodging the one that first hit you. You dodge that second attack, but you leap right into the boom of both of these hands. These massive hands the size of your midsection just pummel you. Mr. Nose Blowy.
Yeah.
The first attack on you is going to be a 25, and the next one is going to be a 15.
They will both hit.
Yes, they will. I forgot that I had your ACs written right over here. So that will be a total of 11 damage
Woo!
as he pounds down on you.
Okay.
Oh, what the heck? Ooh, sorry, everybody. There are more attacks coming.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah,
boy.
this will
Yep.
happen quick.
I just read there's 5 attacks, so.
What? Attack.
Per one?
Per one?
God.
It's all right. It's balanced. Don't worry about it.
I hope so.
I was like, the damage is really low for something this level hitting them, so that's okay. We're fine. The next attack is a. These are on you. 19 and a 14. So
19 hits.
So 19 will hit. And the second round of attacks coming through will be another 20 and another 20.
Are you seriously rolling 20s over there?
Woof.
Yeah, Froggy Man, Brian. Oof. Yeah.
That'll be another 20 damage.
Holy
And then
smokes.
Mr. Bard, the next attack is a 13 and a 20.
Yep.
But only 4 damage on that one.
Okay.
So, you rushing in, see your friends just get boom, 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 boom.
Bad.
But Johan, you have the opportunity to act now.
Am I familiar enough, being a bard and not a wizard, do I know what the radius of a fireball is?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Thank you.
It's never in here, but my interpost shield
15.
is. Sorry.
Sorry, your post shield.
Yeah, is that a bonus action?
It
It's
would be a
not
reaction.
my-
You would have to be next to them.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
15.
15?
Yes.
Yeah. As a lore bard, you did study some amount of other schools of magic, even if you didn't fully stay awake through a lot of the class. You know that
Yeah.
you know that it has a 20-foot radius,
20
so
foot
a
radius.
40-foot, because a circular square,
Diameter,
yeah, from a center point.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I paid attention in the fireball seminar, because Dlink. I'm going to take a bead off of my necklace, and I'm going to, since he's the one that's pummeling on me right there, I will. Let me see if I can disengage without getting. Is throwing it considered to be an attack of opportunity? Throwing the bead?
No, you couldn't use that, but an attack of opportunity is a reaction, and you can only use an attack of opportunity if it is moving.
Yeah, sorry.
Really
Maybe I'll
out of
rephrase
space.
the question. If I'm currently engaged in combat, can I still throw a bead?
Using an action is not, or using an item is not a attack of opportunity without
It's a
some sort of
bonus
feat
action.
that I'm not sure of.
Okay.
Well, it would probably be an action unless you have rogue levels to allow you to use that.
Okay, so then I'm going to use
Okay.
an action to throw my bead and try to get the two that are hitting Lapad. I don't think there's any way I'm going to get the one that's attacking me.
Do you want to try to run away from the one that's attacking you first?
If I use my action to disengage,
You could.
I couldn't move though.
Right. With an attack of opportunity, they can only swing.
Sorry, stream just dropped.
Okay.
You can still
So
tell
they
me.
can only swing at you once.
Right.
If you